Good morning, y'all, and welcome back to the channel. You want to see how good Buddy's doing? Buddy, come here. Go. Go. His go is not as it. Go. He's still got the go.
He's at least got some go. That's a huge improvement from 2 days ago, right?
Buddy's got some go. He walks a little more like Phil now.
Yeah.
But he's still here with us.
He walks stiff, but he's starting to be able to bend his legs and stand up and sit down easier.
Buddy,
lay down.
Go.
His cone's a little dirty.
He did his head move. He faked me out. He's like, I pretend to go and I didn't go.
You should have let me clean his cone. Sorry, y'all. He's going to the vet tomorrow, but he's been slobbering.
Buddy, are you happy to be back?
Yeah. Come here. Come here. Your
Buddy is not a
ear
good
is
cone
little-
dog. He walks into all the doors.
Right, yeah. He's back to following me around 24/7. So we know he's feeling much, much better. And he's eating like normal. He's drinking. He's going potty. He's doing all the things he's supposed to do. So.
He just walks a little slower now.
Yeah, he just walks like a little.
He runs.
He runs. He does run a little bit now, right?
Hey, bud, how are you doing today? I need to go to work.
Bye. Turn. Whew. Closer and closer every time.
So which one drives like you?
He's on my, oh. There I am. No, he actually does drive good. For a 2-year-old, like, he's got it. He understands what's happening. I'm not sure who drives like me. Kayla's a little reckless. I feel like I've had a lot of wrecks in my day.
But Kayla's good.
But she is good.
She's reckless, but she's
like,
good at reckless.
She can maneuver and go through trees and not hit the other car. So maybe none of them drive like me. That would be the blessing.
So what exactly is today's video about? Well, it's about something we think is very important.
Yes, our family.
Yeah. Buddy right there is a big part of our family. And when he got hurt, it made us realize we're not doing a very good job as a family.
Right.
I mean, we're doing fine, but we were doing a lot of things the reason we started RVing to
Right.
change.
We fell into a lot of our old habits that we had when you were working offshore all the time.
So for those of y'all that don't know us as the RV people, we decided to go RVing because we were living the American dream, which was work all the time to buy a bunch of stuff and have a collection of things, but we were never actually enjoying it.
Yeah, never actually having time to use it. A lot of the time, Kevin was gone 24/7. He was on call 24/7. He would be gone weeks to months at a time. So we had all these things, but we weren't actually using them, and neither of us were actually happy from having all these things.
So one day, we watched a YouTube video. We saw a family traveling full time, and I said, we should do that. And she goes, really? I was like, yeah, we should sell all of this crap and just be us and go travel and spend every moment together because that's really what's important.
That was a very good decision that we made happen almost overnight. I mean, hindsight looking back, like,
it was 6 weeks from the time we said we're doing it, and we had no home.
It was quick. Yeah, it took us a few months to actually move in because we had to get it ready, but as far as from when we made the decision to when we were essentially homeless, there wasn't much time at all.
So we traveled for 3 years, and it was awesome. And if you've been following along, you know that our RV had some issues, and we ultimately decided to get rid of it, and we settled down here at this house. And what happened when we got off the road? We didn't even notice it, but it happened slowly.
Well, for the first like 6 or 7 months, we were with my parents at their house while we were deciding where we were going to live, what was next for us and paving new paths. And once we decided on this house, as many of you know, we bought it as is. Just, we will finish whatever needs to be done. It was in the middle or tail end of a renovation that they had done to it, or a remodel. And we got busy.
And we got really busy. So I had a full-time job that was supposed to be part-time because we didn't know we were actually gonna not ever be on the road again. And then once we realized we were not traveling anymore, I decided to start this business right here, the landscaping company. So I started that, and then I got another part-time job working for a family doing ranching things. And then I have another job, and all while we're doing this, we are spending time renovating, working on the house, We were very busy.
Yes.
Busy bodies.
And on top of him doing a lot of things, plus a new YouTube channel. So now we're running 2 YouTube channels. On top of all that, our girls decided they wanted to try traditional school. So we're also going to school during the week and really spending no time together as a family. Now, there were times when I was with the kids or you were with the kids or whatever, but we just weren't getting that family time that we had while we were on the road, and that's something that we really cherished while we were on the road.
And another big thing happened between me and Alicia. We stopped being husband and wife and we became roommates. Just workmates that were taking care of the kids.
Right, and it wasn't that like we fell out of love or anything. Like, I love this man with all my heart. It was just we had things tasks that had to get done. We're also business partners. So there were things that had to get checked off the list daily, and it just didn't leave a lot of time for us to spend quality time together.
That happened slowly over several months, and we didn't realize it was that bad until Buddy got hit. And we were sitting there talking, thinking we might have to make sure, Buddy may not come home.
Right.
We started talking about all the things that were bothering us.
Yeah.
And what's the thing that bothered both of us? We both mentioned that I don't feel like I know who you are anymore.
Right, and that we just missed time together. Like, we had so much time. Even simple things like, I realized, when's the last time I rode in your truck?
It's been months.
Like months, and like literally that was our only vehicle, and I was always his tag-along partner.
No one sat in the front seat but
no
Phil
one
lately.
has been in the car or in his truck. Just little things like that like I didn't even realize I was missing until I was heartbroken about what was happening with Buddy and what that meant for our family, and it just really opened my eyes to things have to change.
Things did need to change. It's not like me and this one don't like each other. We were very good business partners, but we didn't get married to be business partners.
Correct.
We got married to be husband and wife.
Right. So we waited to get married, in case you didn't know. We were both well in our 30s, and we knew that who we married wanted to be our lifelong partner, our soulmate, all of these things, but it is just really easy in the thick of life to get busy with ultimately things that do not matter at the end of the day.
Everything we're doing to be so busy and to feel successful, it doesn't matter. This landscaping trailer doesn't matter. This truck doesn't matter. This house doesn't matter. None of this matters. What matters is this one right here, that one right there, and those 3 little ones in the backyard right there. That's the only thing that matters.
Absolutely. And it took a lot of conversations to unpack everything that we had kind of stored up from our time on the road, our time back at my parents', me getting hurt. Like, it opened up all these conversations that neither of us knew how the other person felt. We were just trying to do our part, to be the adult, to be the business partner, to just get stuff done. Like, I didn't want to burden him with things that I was going through. He didn't want to burden me with things he was going through. So we just kind of separated and like did our own thing, made life work, handled the kids, handled everybody, but we just weren't loving each other well, I don't think.
I still love you.
Oh yes, but you weren't. We weren't.
I was very good at bringing money in and finding things to do.
Yeah, you were. He was definitely being the male role of, I'm going to be the provider. I'm going to make sure all of our needs are met. All of those things. But at the end of the day, what it came down to is
we didn't talk.
Yeah,
we didn't talk anymore.
Yeah, we didn't have any conversations outside of YouTube, our children, and really that's it. Like, it was YouTube and our kids, and then it became like the house, the remodel, the company, like the landscaping. Now we have a second channel for YouTube, so it literally became all business, no fun.
We talked so much that we unpacked some things from back before we sold everything. Like, I learned things about Alicia that I didn't know. So we had a lake house that we lived in. Well, Alicia lived in it because I was never there.
Yes.
It was a sweet lake house, right?
It was a great lake house. I mean, it was kind of a retirement community, but I was the youngest one on our road for
by like 35 years.
Yeah, maybe 30 years. But everyone was great on the street. We loved our neighbors. We loved the house. Like, it was a great thought. We were purchasing that house because we wanted that to be our retirement home. We thought we were doing things right by just buying our forever home while we were in our 30s. In hindsight, that wasn't the way to go.
It was a great house, except for one thing. Alicia probably wants me to be there to enjoy it with her, because we owned it for 7 years. 7 years. I may have seen it for 7 months in 7 years.
Yeah, it was very lonely at times, and for the first, I don't know, 4 years, we didn't even have children. So it was literally me there with Buddy. We got Buddy almost as soon as we moved in, so Buddy and I became the best of pals. That's why he follows me around everywhere, because it was literally he and I for forever. But yeah, I would just invite family up, or I would come back to our hometown and I would visit family while Kevin was gone. I might stay here weeks at a time and not go back to the house, and then at the end of the day you're just like, why are we even paying for this house and all these things, and neither of us are really enjoying it.
I thought I was doing the best thing ever. I didn't even realize until like last week, and this is what, 5 years ago, because we weren't talking then either. When we decided to go RVing, we just used that as a reset, but we never unpacked some of the baggage that we had from why we wanted to reset.
Well, yeah, I think we kind of did, because like we had just had Kayla, so you had got to spend some time home before we made this decision to go RVing. It was during the pandemic, and we loved having you home. And then we realized like the less of a paycheck for you being home versus you being away, we were still managing. And we just decided that like we've got 2 kids now, and they're almost to the age where they're gonna start caring that daddy's leaving for work for who knows how long, or is daddy gonna be at my birthday party, or is he gonna be at Christmas? Like there was all these things that were about to start coming up. So it was the perfect time to just cut ties with that company and start fresh without really having deep conversations. I think we both knew why we were doing it.
We just never talked about it.
Right.
So why are we talking about this now? Well, we went traveling, things were great. But whenever we decided to settle back down, what do? We fell right back into the same thing without even knowing it. We stopped talking and we were just handling business.
Right, we're both, I think that comes maybe with marrying later in life. Like I told him in one of our talks, like we are both very independent people. Like I lived without him for forever, and he lived without me for forever, and we got by. We both had our own homes. We both had our own successful jobs. Like we can handle our stuff without needing someone else. But I don't think that's a marriage.
For the first time in forever, I've known this girl for what, 12 years?
At least, yeah.
12 years. For the first time in forever, Buddy almost not coming home, I finally think I know this girl now.
Right. It definitely, like I told him, like I feel like I truly have my soulmate now. Like you hear people say soulmate and you just think, oh, it's 2 people that are married. No, you can be married and not have your soulmate, and I never knew that. Like I didn't understand that, because I love him and I love him to death, and we were married, like we were doing life, we were having a family. But until like you have some really hard conversations and go through a couple valleys, I think it's why they say like longer marriages that go through things are stronger marriages, because it really does strengthen your relationship. It lets you see where the other person was coming from on things that you had in your head of why they were doing things that were maybe upsetting to you. It's like eyes wide open. Like I just feel like I have my soulmate now, and it's so awesome.
Do you know what we discovered in all of our talks? That both of us did not know we were annoying or neglecting the other person. We thought we were doing our part to get through the tough times. And once we started talking about it, we realized we should have talked during all this time, because then if we'd have communicated, we'd have known, hey, this is why I'm doing this and this is why you're doing that. But no, we chose not to talk to each other, and it felt like we were 2 separate parents living in the same house, but we weren't together.
Right. And he asked me like, so did you resent me? And I'm like, no, I didn't resent you, because you were just doing what you needed to do to get us by and to make sure we had food on the table and a place to live and things like that. So there was no resentment, but there were things that bothered me that Kevin had. And I mean, I'll just say it, like with 3 kids that are currently 6, 4, 2, you feel somewhat tied down as a mom or as the sole parent when someone else is like the breadwinner and making all the money and all that. So like, yes, I could go do things or whatever, but like I told him, when you have 3 small children, going to the store to look at a shirt you know, a new shirt or going to buy groceries, that's a chore with 3 children. And I don't want to make it sound like we don't love our children or whatever, but with 3 small children, for anyone who's had small children, you know that their needs are constant. And so you having any you time is pretty much non-existent. And that was a big thing for me, because I felt like you had all this freedom to go out, but in reality, he was also trapped. He was trapped in jobs that he maybe didn't care to spend all day every day at. He was trapped trying to figure out how to provide for the family and how to do this and that and find a place for us to live. Like, he had his own things he was working through that we just never cared to talk about. And had we talked about it, we could have gotten through this years ago.
I hate that it took Buddy, the Buddy incident. By the way, did y'all know he got hit by a bus? I believe I said it a few times.
Yeah, someone said we should make a drinking game out of how many times Kevin said, well, he got hit by a bus. And I went back and rewatched that video. Y'all, we would have been lit.
So, Buddy, you got hit by a bus, and I think you knocked us out of our funk that we actually didn't know we were in.
Right. It was
like, we thought we were just being successful co-workers.
Right.
Honestly, that's what it was. We felt like co-workers.
Well, and we didn't even feel like there was a problem. Like, we've never come to each other to say, hey, I'm unhappy, or hey, this is bothering me.
I wasn't unhappy. I just thought I was doing my thing, you're doing your thing.
We weren't unhappy. We were just so busy. And when you're so busy, especially as parents, you tend to put your emotions and needs on the back burner. And mine have been on the back burner for so long, because I feel like I've been pregnant, nursing, and caring for little kids for so long that I didn't even know what my needs were. And then having the girls start going to school, it kind of gave me a little more freedom. And then Caden's growing up a little bit, like, I'm having more freedom, so then I can start bringing those things that were on the back burner back and realize, hey, what we have, I want more, and he wants more. And so although we're very upset that Buddy got hit, it was also such a blessing for our family.
It made us have the hard talks.
Yeah, it did. And they weren't bad talks. They weren't, we're gonna argue talks. Like, we've never really been arguers. They were just talks of,
they weren't
hey,
like, we're gonna break up talks.
Yeah, no. They weren't even like yelling or any of that. Like, just talks about, hey, here's where I was, or here's what I'm feeling, and how can we make some changes, or how were you feeling in this situation? And maybe most marriages do this. I mean, I don't personally feel like I have any girlfriends that have told me they've had to have hard talks with their spouses, but also I don't know that this is something that I would go share with a girlfriend, although we're sharing it on YouTube, which feels odd. But I just, when we were talking about what this video should be about this week, it's just transformed our family so much that we felt like we owed it to ourselves and to our viewers,
well, I think
to share, because it is important. Like, it's so important. If you're not having the hard talks, if you're not checking in with your partner to say, hey, how are you emotionally, or have you gotten enough sleep, or, you know, are the kids okay, are y'all doing okay? A simple, hey, I know you had a busy day at work, thank you for working hard, that goes a really, really long way. And I think more people need to verbalize it and say it, so that other marriages or relationships that might be struggling, or not even know that they're struggling, know that they can get to this much, much better place.
You're deep in a video right now that you probably didn't think you were going to be a part of. And every week for the last 2 weeks, we haven't known what we're going to film. And every week I've said, let's just talk about what we're feeling. Well, this week we realized that we have crossed a big, we've jumped over a huge barrier. Like, I think I like you more now than I did when I asked you to marry me.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, this right here, that was nothing compared to how I like you now.
And I've seen that, especially like in movies and stuff, like, oh, I love you more today than the day I did when I married you. And you just think, oh, that's movie stuff. Like,
that's Hallmark Channel.
Yeah, like, it never gets better than the honeymoon phase. Come on. Like, that's some good stuff right there. But it really is true. Like, marriages are peaks and valleys. And when you don't even realize you're kind of in a valley, and then you come out of it, and like, there's all this greatness around you. Like, I'm so thankful that we've had the talks that we had, and that we are in the place that we're at, and that we have this platform to share our experience with other people who may benefit positively from this.
All right, guys, y'all crying yet? Is that enough sappiness? We decided to share this because if you're having issues or not issues, or if you're just not feeling like you used to feel, maybe you should have the conversation. Maybe you should ask your significant other, how are you doing today? What was your day like? Is there anything bothering you? Is there anything that you want to work on or anything you want to talk about? You should have those talks, because trust me, in the end, having the talk with your significant other is better than keeping it in and just dealing with yourself. So anyway, guys, thanks for a different kind of video. We love you, and we'll see you in the next one.
Say bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.
I also want to say, I think I said it in the last video, there was someone who gave us a super thanks that helped buy Buddy's bed. We just want to say thank you for that. We also received another sizable super thanks in YouTube, and we really appreciate that because that's going to go a long way in helping with the cost of the unforeseen medical expenses that he received. But we received these from a local baker. They are pet cookies. It's called Lily and Max Pet Bakery. So thank you, Miss Fran and Miss April, for sending those over. They do have a website, and they said that they can ship. These have shelf lives of like months, so you can get it shipped and have it for a while before they go bad. But it's Lily, L-I-L-Y, and maxpetbakery.com. And now that Buddy is eating, I just want to see if he enjoys it. So I thought we would let him have one. But I think they're so cute. So they've got the name of the company there. Should we let him eat the dog with the...
Oh, they put a thing on him?
Isn't it so cute? And then they have the little vet, and they have the Get Well, the little pill bottle. Should we let him have that?
Yeah,
Let's see how he likes it. Come here, bud.
I want feet.
Let's see. Okay. Let him. Okay.
Let's let him see if he wants to eat
See
it.
if he'll eat it. He may have.
He's just holding it.
Is that good, Bub?
I think that gets his stamp of approval. He said he's going to swallow it whole. Are we going to give him... How about I split this one?
You dropped some on the ground.
That's okay.
I believe he'll probably eat it all up.
Yeah, we may have to pick it up for him. Here you go, Bubba.
Well, he dropped the eye.
He dropped the eye. So yes, thank you to everyone who's continued to show Buddy and our family love during all of this, because it was heartbreaking, I mean, to be honest. And I'm finally to a point where I can talk about it without instantly crying. So I really just wanted to say thank you all. He's much, much better. I think he's got a long way to go, and he's going to be with our family for a while. So we're super excited that he's on the mend, and we appreciate all the love.
Which one would you think he should try next?
You tell me.
Maybe they should tell us in the comments which one should we feed him next.
I think
The vet, that's where we took him to get well. The pill bottle.
I think mostly like the pills.
By the way, we should tell them, when they saw Buddy in the last video and he was walking crazy, he was high as a kite.
Yeah, and
He was on some good stuff. Like, he didn't even know where he was.
Right, and we do appreciate all of the suggestions, like raise his food bowl, get him a runner. Like, we did a few of those things that really helped him out in those first few days, but now he is like back to normal. We did move his food bowl out so that he had a little more room with his cone. It was kind of in a corner. So with that, he's been fine. He hasn't been whining at night. He only gets one pain pill a day. Like, we go back for a visit tomorrow, which is exciting. So I get to take him and let him see him.
We're getting the staples out
maybe
tomorrow.
he gets his staples out, and he can maybe hopefully remove his cone soon. So we're on the mend, and he's going to be all right.